Are we having fun tonight, pretties?
This is Witches, Brews, and Banter, where the forest speaks, the dead text back, and the magic is slightly feral. Join Dana Von Hex, Binx Vex, and Bethany Fenyx as we sip, spell, and spill the witchy truth.
Who's gonna count us down? Who's gonna introduce us? All right, cool. Welcome. All right, so
beautiful. Best intro ever. This has
welcome.
Yeah,
Just all blank stare staring at you.
Yeah, like not you.
All right, so welcome to Witches, Brews, and Banter, everyone. I'm Bethany Fenyx.
I'm Binx Vex.
And I'm Dana Von Hex.
All right, and today we are going to be covering witch tools. Not like which ones, but tools for witches and what you might need, what you might not need, and everything that encompasses that. So pretty excited about this one because there's so many different options, and it's definitely a new, if you're a new witch, it can be incredibly overwhelming. So yeah, that's what we're here to break this down and hopefully make sense of things. So I guess to start us off, what's your guys' favorite tools? Let's start with Binx.
Mine are probably always going to be my tarot cards. Ever since I got into tarot, actually, rethinking now. My bones, I think. My bones and my dead things. I collect those so much, and I don't even think about using them in craft because they're in literally every piece of craft that I do. They sit on my altar. I use the bits and pieces for spells and rituals and ceremonies. So they're probably the most used and probably my favorite because they're kind of the main backbone of my craft.
Fantastic. How about you, Dana? What's your favorite?
Mine's gonna be all my crystals. I've been a collector of crystals, rock, shiny things since I was a child. I am a total charge these things in the moon person. And yeah, they just bring me joy. I don't know, like I feel empowered when I'm surrounded by my crystals and minerals and rocks. And yeah, I feel like they just give me some sort of I don't know, like connection, power, peace. You know, they're really pretty to look at. So yeah, I would say my crystal collection.
I totally love that you said that you're totally empowered by them. That's cute. I love that. Because it's true, like they give off so much energy.
Yeah, they empower me to be a total addict of collecting crystals and rocks.
That's just your goblin energy. You're
That's
good.
my trash goblin energy. Yes.
Yeah. So my thing, I am a total journal whore. Like I have to have my journals. I love them. I buy them all the time. Most of these are actually empty, but they make me really happy to have. So I'm a complete journal whore. And I wish I used them more how you're supposed to use them and more regularly, but I just don't. But I love having them, and it makes me really happy to receive more. So that's why I always, if there's a chance to have a journal, I will always take it. Always. So yeah, that's fun. We're like all fun. All right,
we're
so
all fun.
We're all fun. So to start off, though, I did go ahead and pull a card from my deck, and this is the nameless one. So really cool deck that I have, and I pulled the World card. So this is what it looks like. This is from the deck. That's the sigil if you guys want to meditate on it. If you guys do sigil work for that, you guys can totally do that. So it's the World, except for this one actually came out reversed. So it actually is talking about stagnation, delays, lack of closure, and stuff like that. So basically, you're starting your journey strong, but something's kind of in the way. So that's kind of like the feeling of this card. And I did pull it of like what does this episode of the podcast need to know? And I know we have had like, it's for me especially, I feel like us launching this podcast has had like a little bit of a slow start and a little bit of a hiccup. So I kind of feel that with this card as well. But then also personally, I know everything's just kind of crazy right now, and it just feels like it's like not moving forward, and I'm stuck where I'm at, and it sucks. And I know, Dana, you mentioned too when I pulled this card at first, you were like, was that for me? So
The spirits are like, "Ah, spooky shit."
Well, if you think about
Yeah,
it,
It's for you. It's for you.
if you think about it too, it could be a message just for the overall meaning of this episode, because for a lot of people the big thing with getting into witchcraft is I want to get into it, but I have no idea where to start. I have no idea what to get, or if I need this or that, or if I'm stepping on toes by doing this or using that. So I mean, you look at it that way too, because that is a big reason. I mean, I know when I got into witchcraft, before I actually knew that I had been practicing witchcraft since I was a kid, when I put a label on it, I think is the best way to, like, oh yes, I'm a witch now. I was like, am I though? Because I don't have any of the tools. I don't have any of the books or the journals or the I don't know why I'm the grimoires, you know, I don't have any of those things. So am I really a witch? But I think we'll get into it a little bit later. But yeah,
I bet
it's
like
in your
once
heart
you
and
got your
soul.
first pointy hat, you were like, I'm totally a witch now.
Oh yeah, no, that was like your
Yeah.
badge of honor. Once you
And
get
your broom.
little-
Yeah.
Well, see,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't done my broom yet because I want to do my broom the same way that I did my hat, which was making it myself. And there's like different places you can go to make your own brooms and stuff. And
I just read a
really wanna-
Dyson. It
I mean,
charges.
fitting.
the
The
charges.
wall charges. It charges on the wall.
Not under the moon.
Electric. I'm saving the planet with my electric room.
Not cutting down any trees over here.
Nah. Save the trees. Yeah.
Plastic, save nature. That's backward. All right, perfect. So, but yeah, they're just like Vic said, like there is so much confusion. And I love that you broke it down that way, because I think that's like super on point. Because there is so much. And like I see online all the time where people are like how do you know you're a witch? And it's like, it's literally like you decide and you're a witch. Like it's like you don't have to be born into it. You don't have to have a special birthmark. You don't even have to have special things on your hand. Like if you do, fantastic. But like if you wake up and you feel drawn to practice and delve into this world and own your power, like whatever it is that draws you to like this type of energy and everything, and you want to call yourself a witch, you don't even have to practice. You don't even have to cast. You're a witch. Like that. It's literally that easy.
What if a big hairy guy like jumps into your room when you're 12 and is like, "You're a witch"? I mean, I'm just.
Only if
I'm
it
just
actually
saying,
brings a
it may
cake.
have happened to me. I don't know. I'm just saying, like when I was like 12. Just saying, when I was living under
Living
the
12
stairs
somewhere around there.
at my aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only if he brings a cake as an offering, then you're
Yeah.
good.
It was a carrot cake. It was
But
great.
otherwise, get your
Don't trust the
peppers straight out.
trolls.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Don't trust the trolls. Yeah. All right. So what we're gonna attempt to do today is break down like the different section of tools and help everyone kind of make sense of it. And because there are so many different things that could be perceived as a tool. I personally also feel that a very important tool is your intuition, which is what episode 1 was about. So if you guys haven't watched that, definitely go back and take that, listen to that, watch it, whatever your method of absorption is. Definitely go back on that, because everyone has intuition, everyone has a touch of psychicness and all that fun stuff, and a lot of witchcraft comes from what feels right to you. So it's not always just what everyone else tells you that you should be doing. If it doesn't feel right, then it's not going to work very well. So like the best tools are done if you have a hand in making them. Like if you're making oils, if you're not there yet, if you're like, I have no idea how to make an oil, I'm not going to start there, just go buy it. It's totally fine. But if you have the ability to make it, it's always stronger if you are involved with every step of your craft. But again, It is totally fine to use pre-written spells. It's totally fine to use purchased materials. It's totally fine to go buy your own freaking tarot deck. Like, it does not have to be gifted. For the love of God, if you want a fucking tarot deck, go buy one. Like,
Not my superstitious
okay.
ass. No, ma'am.
Mine just show up. The owl brings them every like month.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
literally
just shows up
waited.
and drops them in the
I
yard.
waited until somebody gifted me mine. I'm like, I'm not getting got by these spirits. I don't know them well enough.
Seriously, you waited?
Yes, I waited. I
Ah.
seriously waited. I did. Look, Louisiana is an extremely superstitious state, okay? Up and down,
That's
we are
true.
superstitious with it.
That's true. My dumb childhood ass, when I was like 14 or 13 or something, was in a bookstore and was like, this looks cool, I want it, and bought it. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be allowed in stores like that.
yeah.
My mom and dad be like,
Sure.
go to church. That's my
Yeah.
tarot cards.
Yeah,
Go to
Read that
church.
Bible, girl.
go to church. Yeah, exactly. So but you really don't have to. If you feel called to wait, like Vic did, then wait. If that feels right to you, then wait. Because again, it's intuition, right? It's like what you feel is right, then go for that. If you don't think that red represents passion for you, use a different color.
Can I
Okay.
ask a question since I'm newbie witch? What is the purpose of the gifting? What is the lore behind your first tarot deck needs to be gifted?
I have a way to answer this, but Vic,
I
do you?
honestly don't know. I know it comes from Romani culture, and if it comes from another culture, I'm going to respect it. I don't know what the lore is. I don't know why that's part of the rules, but the Romani people said it, so hey, all right, Romani,
You
I
know
got
what?
you.
They know what they're doing. Whatever.
Exactly,
Just let
exactly.
them do them. All right, we just gonna listen to
So-
them people.
I will elaborate, and I will tread carefully because it is a whole different culture and it is a closed culture. So I want to be as respectful as possible. But from what I understand from the culture that of what they have expressed, is that the act of gifting is because it's an important skill that is handed down through the family. So it's again, it goes back to that ancestor magic. And if you're not in that ancestor magic, if you're not part of that familial line, then you don't have business in doing it, right? So we'll cover close practices at some point as well, future and down the road. But the idea was, and also because they were persecuted so heavily, it was kind of like a fear thing. So you couldn't just go out and buy one because you can't. Like, it would be inappropriate and potentially harmful and life-threatening if you just went and bought a tarot deck at the time. So to be able to have that deck passed down through family, not only the deck but the actual practice of reading tarot and learning from your elders and learning from your grandma and everything, that's actually where it came from. So the actual Romani, I'm saying it wrong and I'm stuck. Thank you, Romani. A line. It's very important to have that very important touch. So that's why gifting tarot cards, that's where it comes from. Of keeping it close and keeping it in the family, I guess.
It sounds.
What if mine was
similar.
gifted from a subscription box? Does that count? Because that's how I got mine. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, again, I've purchased every single deck that I have kind of obsessively. Like, if I had $1 million, I would probably have way too many tarot decks because I love them. And every time I see them, they do call to me. Some of them do, some of them don't. And I have been gifted decks that I have no idea what to do with. Like I've been gifted decks where people are like, hey, I bought this, but like, I'm not really feeling it. And I know you're kind of witchy. So, here you go. And I'm just like, cool.
What do I do with
This
it
has
now?
no feeling. I have no draw to use this deck whatsoever. So it just kind of different, I guess. But
Interestingly enough, for me, the first deck that I was gifted was that, like, somebody gifted it to me because they didn't want it anymore. Or they got it and they didn't know what to do with it, so they gifted it to me because they knew that I was into witchcraft. But when I got it, I felt literally no call to use it. Never got a message from ancestors saying I needed to mess with it. Never got a message from spirit guides saying there's a message in there for you. So it's still sitting on my altar because I won't ever throw anything away like that. I don't know. It feels weird or disrespectful to just throw away your crafting tools. I'd rather regift
Yeah.
it or something. But I waited until I got my second deck from my current partner, till I actually started reading. So it's big on the, like you were saying before, the intuition, because you absolutely, I firmly believe you have to have that calling. There has to be some sort of bigger push to make you do the things you want to do. Otherwise, you're kind of just doing it to do it. And that's not, to me, that's not the right way to do witchcraft.
Yeah, there's definitely, like, you can sit down and light a candle and sprinkle some herbs around and say you're doing a spell. But putting the focus behind it, putting the intuition behind it, and actually feeling that you need to do that spell, I think that's also important. That's a tool of, like, understanding when it's called for, and making sure it's good. Like, there's been times where I've been trying to do a spell and it's just not there. Like, it's nothing is sparkly, nothing is shiny, it doesn't feel right. Like, it's like, okay, like, what the fuck am I doing then?
It needs more
Like,
glitter.
nothing exactly.
More glitter?
Like, more glitter.
The
It
goblin
needs
brain
something,
kicking in.
right? Yeah. And then also, I don't know about you guys, but I get sick after, if a spell works. I get sick, and it's probably because I don't cast a circle. That's what I've been told, because I've, like, asked about it, and I don't cast circles because I'm not Wiccan. So I just do a spell wide open, I guess, unprotected sex style.
So yeah, no, you're dead ass. You're out here raw balling it, okay? I'll tell you that.
Raw dogging it.
100%.
Raw dogging it. Raw dogging spells.
I will never, I don't care. Okay, so to me, for me personally, and I'm gonna just, full disclosure, full disclaimer, personal opinion. Okay, you do not have to agree. Cancel me if you really want to. Wiccan, the entire Wiccan craft is fully appropriated from indigenous practices. So, like, straight up, if you're gonna tell me I can't cast a circle because I'm not Wiccan, I'll tell you to eat the back end of my ass. Because I'm gonna cast that circle every single time. That is one of the biggest, even when I was a little bitty kid, it would be, I didn't know I was casting circles, but I always shrouded myself in the light. I always called my ancestors forward. I always call my spirits forward. I always ask the elements to be present with me. I ask them to aid me if they feel like it. I don't make it mandatory, but I always ask them to join in, because one, that keeps me from being touched or handled in any way by anybody outside of me. I always say I'm divinely protected. I've seen it happen time and time again. We can get into the fact that I'm currently pregnant. I have had several witches try to hex me with pregnancy before I was actually ready. Not one of them worked. In fact, every fucking time it happened, they turned around and got pregnant unexpectedly without me even so much as lifting a finger. That is how divinely protected I am.
So define casting a circle, because that's where I'm confused, because I'm thinking there's some chalk involved and there's a circle on the ground.
No,
and you stand in it and you're just like, blah, 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 I don't know.
No. You're
okay.
So hold on.
It's sorry. What?
Before we continue, it wasn't that, like, I was afraid to cast a circle because I'm not Wiccan. It was more that I was never taught how to cast a circle appropriately. I do energy work, and so, like, when I do cast a spell, like, I do the white bubble or whatever. So, like, I do a form of protection, but because I'm not actually casting a circle and I'm not doing it right accordingly to everyone else, I think that's why I get sick. But that's how I know, like, a spell worked, is how sick I get.
Which, I mean, it could literally be that's your signifier for it. It could have nothing to do with the fact that you're casting a circle or not, is what I'm saying. It could be just that's how your magic works. That's how you find out from the universe if what you put forth is coming into fruition or not. But it could also be you get as sick as you do because you don't cast the circle. So
yeah, the demons are all up in your shit, girl.
Yeah.
Well,
so the
main
wide
open for business. Call me 7-Eleven.
The main purpose of casting the circle is so that
free Slurpees in June.
Whenever you put out the energy, because there's this energetic belief that whatever you put out comes back tenfold, right? Which, again, they say claim it's a Wiccan belief. It's not necessarily a Wiccan belief. I just think that's how energy works. You put it out, it comes back. If that's what you put out, that's what you're going to get back. So the main purpose of it is, so when you're putting this energy out there, no bad energy comes back to harm you. And if someone is aware, at least this is my belief, if someone is aware of the spell that you are casting, they don't need to be, let's say, exactly to the detail in the know of what you're doing. But if they know of it, they have the ability to cancel it out with something that they do on their side. That casting the circle, in my opinion, protects from that happening. It doesn't protect from things coming back on you. If you are doing something with malicious intent and there's no really rhyme or reason, I believe it will still come back on you, whether you cast the circle or not. But casting the circle and doing things with, we'll say, positive intentions or for the betterment of yourself or others, that, you know, people can get jealous of things like that. So it's kind of just a way to cover your ass. The way that you cast, at least the way that I cast, everybody casts differently. But the way that I do it is, before I perform anything, before I do readings, before I talk to spirit, before I do any of that, I sit down, I calm my mind, and I envision a ball of white light above my head. And then I envision it slowly radiating down and like fully covering my body. And I just become the white light eventually.
That is...
I know it's hokey pokey. I totally get it.
No, hear me out, which is hilarious because I have been doing that since I was probably 12 years old.
Yeah,
like,
and that's
without,
the thing about it.
Without even with nothing, like I've always, before I talk to spirit or to guides or to God, even I always envision a cleansing, a grounding, a ground.
And that's exactly what it is.
I envision a light around me, a protection. I invite in good energy and I dispel bad energy. And I absorb my energy back when I'm done. So I'm just like, okay, all the good energy that I expelled today, bring back into me. Negative energy is not allowed. And then I proceed to talk to guide, spirit, God, you know. So that is so funny to me. Like, I don't even know. It's been casting circles this whole fucking time.
Circles with the added benefit of calling your energy back to you, which is another skill entirely. But you are doing that just off of, oh, that's what I should do, which is boom, intuition.
My own intuition. Yeah, it was like, oh, okay, so I spent this energy today. Then let me pull that back into myself, and then let me like make sure that the negative energy is not allowed back in. Right. So it's almost the same thing as like spinning your karma. Right. You know, like all the karma that I have accrued, I'd like to spend my karma, you know, things like that. That's just, y'all are blowing my mind right now. Look at me, I'm being a whole little witch. I don't even know it. Shit.
That's the thing. That's how it was for me as a kid. Like, I had no fucking idea the shit I was doing was witchcraft, and it 110% was. A lot of it I still do to this day.
Yep.
Well, there we go.
Well, yeah, and even like if you remember, like if you were like when you were little and you were scared of like because you felt something in the room and it was scary or whatever, and you just hide under your blanket. Like, what the fuck is a blanket gonna do?
Scared.
But that's like a form of shielding, and it's a form. You never got scared?
Oh my god, no! If I got any feelings or anything, I was so interested. I mean, it was like when I met I was telling you, when I met my freaking sleep paralysis demon, I was so excited. I want to know who he was, what his name was, what do you do for a living? Like, what's your job? I was so excited. I was so excited. He was like, wow, I'm scare you. And I'm like, nah, bro, tell me about you. I want to know who you are. Like, I am so excited right now. Like, I've been waiting for you my whole life. I need to know more about you, please, God. Tell me. Please tell me everything. I was so excited. I was so excited when he showed up. Oh my gosh. Best night of my life. I wish he'd come back. I think he's afraid of me now. I honestly think I scared him more than he scared me. I was just
he's probably, what the fuck's wrong with you?
No, anytime I ever got any kind of feeling of intuition or spirit or visits or anything, it was so interesting. It was so interesting to me. I just want to know more. Like, it never scared me. I was never scared. I've never been scared, ever.
Walking around, going into churches, seeing angels and demons and dead people. I'm horrified.
I'm just,
and then no one will answer your questions. No one will answer the question as to why am I seeing these things. You ask your priest or somebody, and they're like,
No,
With the
completely
buzzy.
intrigued
What?
because it's like they're not gonna hurt you. Like, tell me,
Mhm.
You
I-
couldn't
I mean,
convince me that.
I don't know.
They were
Like,
gonna get me, dude. I was gonna get got.
Mhm.
I was gonna get got. I mean, I feel like the different energies that are out there, like they're, they have their reason and have their purpose. It's not that they are there to harm you. They're there to guide you, whether it be good or bad.
Yes.
I agree.
Right?
I think I just watched
Preach,
way
Dana
too many
Von X,
horror
preach.
movies and stuff when I was a kid. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I was horrified of spirits. I think also a lot of it, I'll say
Uh-uh.
for me, is I think the biggest reason I'm terrified or was terrified of all those things is because of church. That, like, hands
Mhm.
down, I will say the church makes you terrified of everything.
Oh, they put the fear in you, but you have to.
don't understand it. It's the devil. That's the only options. And I was terrified Satan was going to grab my
Satan.
little ass. I was like, I know I'm
Yeah.
close to hell. I got to get out of here.
No.
Yep. I literally preacher's daughter right here. So all the religious trauma. But yeah, so I grew up.
Your dad's got
I
a
grew up
fucking
with-
spray bottle full of holy water, fucking spraying you like a cat. What?
Yeah.
Stop what you're doing,
Basically.
bitch. Get off the counter.
Yeah.
Holy water.
But no, like so I'm actually big with fae. I grew up with fairies. I jive with fairies, and I actually get incredibly offended every time I see people online who are like, don't fuck with the fae, like they're evil. I'm like, no,
Little besties.
they're fine.
Dare you?
Like yeah, like I
Oh, my
get actually
besties
like
like that.
personally offended. Exactly when I say that. But when I was little, we had definitely like what we called a house elf in our house.
Oh,
And house elves like to live in dark areas, closets, under the bed, the scary part under your stairs, like the uninhabited areas. And they go by a bunch of different names in different cultures. Like everyone has a name for this creature, but I grew up calling it a house elf.
Yeah, mine was a dust bunny.
And they have a very
They lived under my bed.
yeah, and they have a very, very, very strong energy. And if you don't know what it is, it's really creepy to like
interact
encounter.
with, right.
Yeah. So like it feels really scary. And when you're 4 years old, it's downright terrifying. So
I'll tell you
I would
this,
always hide
Bethany.
under my blanket.
I'll tell you this. The TikTok propaganda got me. I've been before TikTok, I was intimidated, but I'm even intimidated by like deities and deity work.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
almost any fantastical creature or mystical creature, I'm like, I should probably stay away from them because they might try to kill me. And I don't know why I still have that attitude
No, I want them
as
as
an
pets.
adult.
I would love a
One of
gnome.
his pets.
If I had a gnome like roaming around here, just like talking to
Besties.
me, that would be the
Call
best
into
day
a
of my
kitchen
life.
gnome.
Like, kitchen
Yeah.
gnome. Okay, I will. I am going to do that next because if they would do my
Yeah.
fucking dishes, I would be so happy. Oh my god.
From
Fantastic.
everything I've heard, they do help keep your kitchen and like keep things tidy and all that. They're little
Kitchen
tricksters
gnomes.
too, but yeah,
Yeah.
little kitchen elves. They help you. They help you. They help you.
Little
All
garden fairies. Yeah. No, I've got stories, and that will be for a different podcast for sure. But yeah, like all this stuff that we're talking about, like these are all tools, right? So like we don't have to have like a physical actual tool to practice witchcraft. Like most of us discovered at a young age energy work and how to do, like, who told us how to do the white bubble? Yeah, here
just
we
knew.
are, all of us did it. Like all
I
of
bet
us
it
just
was the
naturally like,
fairies.
I need
If-
protection.
It was my
probably the damn
destiny.
fairies. The fairies came
Yeah.
and they were like, "Hey,
This is how you protect yourself from bad shit.
You stupid bitch. Do this right.
You're extremely fucking magical, so they're gonna come for you. Please do this.
So like it's pretty crazy. But yeah, so we all discovered that naturally as children, and I love that. I think that's great. I think that and I'm sure all of our listeners and stuff too are like, hey, I did that too. Like that's crazy. And I think that's just really
I think
Really
a big part
awesome.
of it is like as kids we're more open to things like that, and then when
Mhm.
we're
Yes.
around adults and we start to learn from adults, they kind of push us away from that and being like excited about those whimsical little things, you know? So we think we have to like suppress it. We think it's a bad thing and we kind of move away from it. And then, you know, eventually a lot of us end up getting entered into the church, and it takes a very, very strong mind to go against the church or to what is that? To deconstruct
Indoctrinated. Not be indoctrinated.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big words.
So-
Over 8 letters. Hard one. I know. It's rough.
So it's I think it's a lot to do with just the wonder of a child in general, and then kind of low-key kind of the world crushing that for kids, because they do that a lot.
Yeah. Well, luckily in my path, in my story, when my mom left my dad, she left the church. And she started to go back into her roots, which is where the Appalachian magic comes from. And my great grandma was a known witch. So luckily, I kind of had a mentor, and most people don't. So my mom was open to it. So like I could go to her and I could ask her and I could say, "Hey, Mom, I think I just saw a fairy." And instead of putting me in therapy and locking me up in a white room, she asked me about it, like, and she'd be like, "Oh, what'd you see? Like, what happened? Like, blah blah blah." And like she would actually like encourage me to delve into those rooms and delve into my gifts and everything. So I was very lucky in that aspect to have someone who understood it, where I could go to her and like say something totally off the wall and weird, and she would actually like help me to try and figure it out, for the most part, especially when I was younger. Now, if I went to my dad, said something like that, he'd like pray over me or something. I don't know. But
Like, the power of Christ compels you, Jesus Christ.
yeah, just start throwing crosses at me or something and like, smack me over the head with the Bible. I don't know.
There you go.
But,
The
like-
spray bottle of holy
but
water
yeah.
comes in.
Mhm.
Exactly, the squirt bottle.
The spray bottle. Yes. Get away from me, demon! Rah! But yeah, tools,
But yeah,
right?
so I was tools.
Yeah.
Let's get back
Tools.
on track, I guess.
Get back on track.
What do you guys need to practice witchcraft? As we've already said, yourself. Pretty much it yourself. Now, different, then you can delve into different areas. And this is such a massive topic that there's no way that we would ever be able to study or cover everything, right? So what I always suggest, when I see, or like when someone approaches me and they're like, "I want to get into witchcraft. How do you do it? Where do you start?" You see it on like the social medias all the time. Like, "I want to be a witch. How do you start?"
You buy the
And-
Witchcraft for Dummies book.
Yeah, if there is one. I
Yeah,
hope
yeah.
there's one.
I'm pretty sure there is.
I'm going to Google it.
At this point.
Yeah. Probably.
But I always recommend what got you interested in witchcraft, and start there. So like with Dana, she's always been collecting crystals. She always likes shiny stuff, little goblin energy, wanting to collect all the things and everything. So for someone like Dana, I would say, cool, delve into crystals. Look into crystal grids and start doing meditations with crystal grids.
Giant crystals.
Exactly. Just throw that at Hagrid when he breaks into your room next, and you know. So what I always recommend, anyone who comes to me and is like, "I wanted to get into witchcraft, how do you do it?" Or if someone's like, you know, you see it online all the time, like, "Hey, I think I'm a witch, what do I do?" And I always like, because this is such a broad subject and so large, and there's so many different ways that something could go. I always start with like, what got you into witchcraft? Like, what started that journey? What made you think like, "Hey, I'm kind of into this"? Like with Dana and her crystals, she's been collecting crystals naturally for forever. So she's obviously aligned with crystals. So like with someone like Dana, I would suggest do your crystal grid and meditate with crystals and get into like what the different crystals mean and what you need to carry at one point or whatever. And or if someone's like divination, like, "Hey, I just bought this tarot deck. I have no idea why I bought it, but like suddenly I did, and I felt compelled to. But now I don't know what to do with it. What do I do?" Awesome. Go into different divination. So again, divination is tarot cards, runes, tea leaves, regular playing cards. Like there's a million different ways of divination. You could throw bones. If you are drawn to the ocean, you can throw seashells. and read the seashells and
Can
stuff
you
like
throw
that.
them
there's
at
a
people?
ton of you
Just
can,
out of
yeah.
curiosity,
So
I-
protection. Just put your crystals in a sock and swing it around
And
your
just
head
swing it around.
and it just smacks
And
people.
and my
that's a
tea
great
leaves just
approach.
told me I
Keep
was being a bitch. So I don't know. Like
Yeah,
It'll
exactly.
probably keep
you
the
know,
fuck
that
boys
just
away,
happens.
if nothing else.
Exactly. Always away. But yeah, no, but also if you do get into divination, you do have to be prepared for the message. And I say that. So like there was one time I bought a lottery ticket and I decided to do some magic on it. And
Clearly didn't win.
And I swear to
I'm
God,
just
no, obviously.
What I
here
do
we
here-
are. Clearly
But,
didn't
like
win.
seriously, like side note, I totally think that the lottery is like highly protected by some like super high end fucking mad person because magic does not work on it.
Oh, at
But,
this
like,
point, like they've deified it. There's the lotto's
Yeah.
got its own deity and all. It's a little
It's like its
duster
own
dude.
magic. Yeah, it's like its own thing. But anyway, so I bought a lottery ticket and it was one of the times that was like $1 billion or like $4 billion or something ridiculous. So I was like, I'm gonna do some magic. And so I did a money spell with the lottery included, and I did a bunch of stuff and everything. And I was like sitting there waiting for the candle to burn down, and my ADHD ass is like, this is taking forever. So I was trying to stay focused, and so I decided to start pulling cards. And my deck that I have with my crows, my crow deck that I have here, I love my crows. They're my besties. And this one's super freaking sassy. So basically I started pulling cards and I would like pulled like, am I gonna win the lottery? Essentially. And
Nah.
it was like essentially it was like no. And I was like, I don't like that answer, so I'm gonna pull another card. We all do
Nah.
it. And I was like, I don't like it. So I'm gonna pull
Two
another
no
one.
cards.
And the next one was basically like, stop being a greedy bitch. You're not gonna fucking win. And like that was just like kept being the message where like it kept getting like stronger and stronger of like just fucking stop because you're being ridiculous. Like just like stop. Like you wasted your money. You're not ready for it. Basically, this isn't your soul contract. Like it just like shut me down completely. And I was like,
Oh, okay then.
cool. Thanks. Appreciate it. So if you do get into divination, just be prepared for those messages and actually listen to your stuff because they're telling the truth.
Yeah, and no matter
And-
how hard you try to go against it, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna
You're
win
not gonna
versus
win.
the universe, bestie. I'm just gonna tell you now. You won't.
Yeah.
None of us ever do. The witches who have
Like,
tried are
it
dead
was-
now, so
Exactly. Like, and it was the same cards. Like, I've never actually had that happen where like I've shuffled and shuffled and shuffled, and then I draw the same fucking card again. And I was like, okay, I get it. Like, I get it.
Jeez,
The
okay,
fuck you
fine,
mean
Mom.
by not all?
God.
Yeah.
The fuck you mean not all?
Oh.
No.
But yeah, and then but yeah, okay, so it like whatever draws you, maybe you're a chick who like or a person who can't, because magic is not just for women, it's for all people. A witch is
You
all
can be a
genders.
warlock. We don't
Um,
judge.
Could be
I
a
mean, I
warlock.
play a rogue
If you wanna
sometime on
call yourself
WoW.
a warlock- There you go.
You could be whatever you
Yeah.
want to be. Yeah.
You can be anything you want. But yeah, maybe you're a person who like always has to light a candle. Then obviously start with candle magic. If you're a person who anytime the moon is in the sky, you can't look at anything but the moon. Start doing moon magic. Like there's a ton of different ways to get into it. And start
So if
with
you start
what
howling,
initially
you might
got
just be
you
a
excited.
werewolf.
I was gonna say,
That's-
guys, how come every time we look at the moon, we don't turn into werewolves?
Because we haven't been bitten.
Well, it has
yet.
to be a full
Which
moon. And
bad.
have you been bitten by a
confused.
werewolf yet?
Yeah. Oh, guess not.
Some weird
Yeah.
sex
I,
shit?
I know
don't
the words are similar, witch and werewolf. They both start with a W, but we gotta use brain power, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, so and then the tools come from those categories. So just like Vix said, she's into dead shit and bones and all that fun stuff. Dana's into crystals. I like my journals. So if I was a more accomplished person, I would probably have a pretty awesome grimoire. But I'm not. So I don't. But you definitely should be writing everything down, especially when you do start casting, because if you ever have to countercast, like if you're like, shit, I did not mean to do that, and you have to back that spell up, you better have that shit written down and know exactly what you used, exactly what you said, all that fun stuff. So then you can reverse it if you need to. So always write that down. I'm terrible at it. I'm one of those people that like, I think the meme or something that was going around that's like, you can have all the aesthetic, or you can be the chick who's like licks Cheeto dust off her fingers and is like, let's go slap.
I totally lick the Cheeto dust off of my fingers. Yeah, I leave Cheeto dust handprints all over my walls when I'm really deep into gaming.
Yeah. Especially like the or Takis, you just have like the red streaks everywhere.
I draw a little caveman on my walls.
Yeah. But yeah, so like the tools come with whatever path you initially start on, and you do not have to go out and buy a million things, and you can be cheap about it. So like these candles are like typical spell candles.
I have those,
but they take like 30 to 45 minutes to freaking burn. And I, for one, again, ADHD and probably a healthy dose of autism, I can't wait for these things to freaking burn down. So like, I don't have the focus. So I actually use birthday candles more than anything else.
Oh, you do a speed run of cord cutting. Speed run cord cutting. I like it.
Speed run cord cutting.
No, anytime I need to burn a candle and like the spell requires it to burn all the way down, I'm like, I'm not waiting for this to burn. So I use birthday candles. Unless it is like, if I'm trying to do a really big spell and I feel like I need to do everything right and proper, then I'll use an actual spell, and I'll make sure that I have whatever tools I need to make sure I can focus the whole time, and I'll do it right. But otherwise, if I'm just doing something on the fly and just need to bust something out real fast, do a little quickie, I throw a birthday candle on there.
Like
biggest
candle
thing,
quickies.
Because they come in all candle.
I'm a fan of quickies. They're great.
Yeah.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I
Absolutely.
think when it comes to, especially like just starting out witches, people who are just getting into witchcraft, they really don't know. And then, because that's the biggest thing. I mean, I know when I got into witchcraft, I was pretty young. I was like, I don't know, 15 or 16 when I started getting really serious about it. And if you start to look it up online, the biggest thing you're going to find is, oh, you need an altar, you need a witch, you need candles, you need a book of shadows, you need dice and cards and all the things. And I'm sorry, okay? Again, I'm going to refer back to my heritage, right? I'm Cajun. I'm a coon ass. We grew up poor. I'm still poor. I'll probably always be poor, at least in mentality, not in pockets. I ain't going to put that on myself. But mentally, I'll always be poor. And I'm not spending all that money. I'm not doing that. My ancestors didn't. We were focused on surviving. A lot of magic comes out of survival. It comes from survival. If I can go outside and pull a stick off a tree and, okay, now that's my wand. Boom, that's my wand. I'm not going buy a $3,000 obsidian wood, gemstoned out, decked up wand. Like that, it's a waste of money.
And that's dual purpose because you could beat somebody's ass with that stick too.
Exactly.
Dual purpose.
Multi-purpose switch.
Multi-purpose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing.
That's always the advice that I give is especially if you don't even know what type of witchcraft you're going to be into. You don't even know how you're going to be practicing. If you're going to be green witch or divination witch or a shadow witch, you don't know. Just start off simple. First, find what resonates with you. Find what actually resonates with you, what's calling you. And then, okay, maybe get a couple of tools, a simple little notebook, rip a branch off a tree. Now you got a wand, right? Go pick up some leaves. Now you got some things to do divination reading with. You can read off of leaves. You can read tea. You can read all sorts of shit you have in your house.
Yeah, I get lettuce because I'm a sandwich.
Eggs.
Hey,
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm sure at some point someone could do a sandwich divination though. Like I know you're joking, but like seriously, like there's someone out there could probably somehow like sandwich divination people.
Right.
I believe it. Just put the spell in the sandwich as
And
you
the
build
BLT.
it.
Yeah.
Boom.
I like it.
Yeah, like
I want her.
are
to
you a club
be
sandwich
fruitful.
person? Are you a PBJ? Are you a tuna? Like I don't you know what I mean? Like sandwich divination. But yeah, no, so like, yeah, like what Vic said, always think back, and this is how I actually practice, is that once upon a time, this was just a way of life. It wasn't special. It didn't have a label. It didn't have all 50 labels of like sea witch, kitchen witch, green witch, hedge witch,
It
or
wasn't
like
paganism.
divination witch. Like,
right.
yeah, it wasn't anything. It was literally just the way of life. Like if your crops were failing, guess what? Now you're praying to whatever crop god you need. Like you need to get rid of not pesticides,
Not
little
pesticides.
bugs that eat your
Pesticides.
shit.
Pests.
Bugs.
Pests.
Bugs, yeah, like maybe you have locusts eating the shit out of your garden. Like, okay, cool. Like, well, now you have to pray to whatever god controls locusts. I don't know. You have to, if you're not getting any rain, if you're in a drought, do rain dance or rain gods or whatever. Like it was literally just the way of life. Like it wasn't something special, and there wasn't even a name for it. Like I actually personally get slightly offended by the word pagan, because that was the Christian term to label everyone
Slanderous.
a
If we're gonna be real, to slander.
to slander. It was heathens and pagans. It was used interchangeably as to describe someone that wasn't a Christian,
Christ-like.
that wasn't an Abrahamic, that didn't follow an Abrahamic religion, whether that was Catholicism or Christianity. Exactly. So like I personally I will never call myself pagan because I'm not going to use that Christian word. But other people, like they basically reclaimed it. That's awesome. And if that's you, fantastic. But me personally, I will never
like a
say pagan.
blanket term for
Yeah.
anything that's not Christian.
All of it. Yeah, basically. And then also like again, like they didn't have a name for their religions because it was
Right. It's just a practice.
how
It
they
wasn't
lived.
it wasn't a religion. It wasn't a spirituality. Like you said, it was just the way of life. It's just how they went
It's
about
just
their
the way they
day to
lived.
day.
Yeah. You make a little bit extra food, you give it to the house spirits, you give it to the gods, like whatever. Like you it's
And
literally just
then
the
we
way
were
they lived.
acquainted by Roman Catholicism.
Oh boy, we're getting into it deep. So can I ask you guys, as newbie witch, what are 3 tools you would recommend to get started? Like starter baby witch kit.
Definitely
What
a
would you
notebook.
recommend I get?
A notebook.
Definitely a
That's first and
notebook.
foremost. You need to write, like Bethany said,
Mhm.
everything you do. Even for me personally, I even write down divinations. I even write down readings and spirit conversations, ancestral conversations. I write all of that down because I have a finicky memory. And some things, like sometimes when I do meditations, I'll remember them very vividly. But other times I meditate 3 or 4 times a week. So I'm not going to remember all 3 or 4 of them. So I need to write that down. Notebooks. First and foremost, notebooks.
Notebook and start a dream journal. That's
Oh, a
always like
dream
step number 1. Start a dream journal. Because especially like when you first wake up, you're naturally in the alpha state of like your mind, your alpha mind state. And that's honestly where most magic should come from. But it's really hard to obtain the alpha mind state naturally. Like you have to basically train your body into it. If you can naturally go into the alpha state, fantastic. But like, I definitely recommend starting a dream journal because that's when you first wake up, you're naturally in the alpha mind state, and that's honestly where like you should go when you meditate, when you're doing most of your magic, like all that fun stuff. Like there's been scientific research and stuff where like you have different mind states, and the alpha is the one where you can actually connect to spirit a lot better. So if you start a dream journal, it really helps because that's where a lot of people are getting their natural intuition. They're getting natural divination. You're hearing messages from spirit because again, your subconscious mind is not in control, or not your conscious mind is not in control. Your subconscious mind is able to flow. And if you're in your alpha state, you're able to hear those messages a lot better. So if you're not like me, I definitely recommend, the first thing I do is I grab my phone and start scrolling. And that's so terrible. And I really want to try and not do that because immediately then you switch from whatever mind state you're in, and then you go into your conscious state and lower vibrations and everything else. But definitely a journal is number 1. and start a dream journal, because again, it helps solidify that mind and that brain state. And that's where you should go when you're meditating. And again, that's something you should probably work up to. It's not something you're just going to magically be able to go into when you first start. So meditating is really hard for a lot of people. It's really hard for me. I believe Binx, you've also said it's hard for you.
It can be.
So
I
like,
use
I
guided
love it.
meditation a lot.
I meditate all the time. Yeah.
Dana, I would love for you to do a spell, because I think you would blow up the world.
I do. I agree.
Oh, dude, blowing up the world would be the coolest fucking thing. Oh my god.
I think
Yeah.
for like
Yeah.
the third.
You know what? Bye, bitches. Man, I'm just
See you
blowing the
later.
whole world up. Just
Actually, I don't
Death
do
Star
this
right
podcast
there.
with you guys.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
you will blow up the world.
So no, I think for me, the third thing would be learning how to connect with your spirit guides and ancestors, because that's going to be your biggest line of defense in everything that you do. So becoming acquainted with how to get in contact with them, learning about different ways to call upon them and speak to them. Different spirits, I will say this, different spirits and ancestors will give messages in different ways. Some of them will come through in scent, some of them will come through, they'll speak directly to you, some of them will give you visions, or they'll give you literal signs, like it'll be a bird or a literal sign.
Literal sign.
Yeah. So it's always different things, but that's, for me, it was the biggest thing to figure out, because your spirit guides and ancestors, yes, they'll always guide you even before you learn how to talk to them. But once you learn how to speak their language and really understand what they're trying to get across to you, I feel like it better cements you in your path, and you just feel far more confident in every single piece of work that you do, because you always know you have this lineage of people behind you.
So you feel like that's a tool set. So you feel like
I do.
journaling and then learning to connect to your spirit guides. So what would be the third big tool you think you guys, like, what do you guys recommend for, is it candles, is it crystals, is it oils? I mean, what do you think would be the next biggest tool?
Crystals are probably
again-
the easiest way to, or the like gateway for a lot of people.
Yeah. So again, it depends on what pulled you in. So for some people, it's crystals. For me, it's divination. So I have a pile of crystals sitting next to me, but I'm not like as drawn to them as I was to like my tarot cards and my runes. I love my runes. I'm still trying to figure out how to read them, but I absolutely love my runes. So like for that's a big tool for me. So I would say for the third one, it would be specific to the person.
Your niche.
Yeah. So like maybe everyone always says like how good they feel after cooking your food or after eating your food. You're a kitchen witch. Like literally, like you heal people with your food. Like that maybe you're a kitchen witch at that point, so focus on herbs and focus on stuff like that.
Or if you're really close with death, if you have a lot of
if you're
comfort
really close to
around death, if you enjoy dead things, if you're constantly pulled to roadkill or bones that you find or dead flowers, all these different things, you might be some sort of death witch.
Might be a death witch.
An afterlife witch.
That's so metal. Like I want to be a
It
death
is.
witch
I know.
so bad, bro.
It's
like
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I always say that I have a mix between like death witchcraft and, which is so interesting, death witchcraft and like greenery, like green witch.
Yeah.
Which is ironic to me
it's a
because it's
circle.
death and life. Exactly. It's the completion of the circle. And I just so happen
the
to work
circle,
in
yeah.
both fields.
Yeah. No, and that's funny because I've actually been called to be a death doula, but I've never figured it out.
Oh, that
So-
would be so interesting. I think you would be amazing as a death doula.
the
Yeah,
hell
so
is a
the-
death
like,
doula?
A death doula is so similar to like a birth doula, who's someone who is not necessarily a midwife, but helps the mother and the child go through this transition period. It's actually, so most people probably don't necessarily think this is witchcraft, but it totally is. And I love that. Like I love seeing witchcraft out in the open without people realizing that it's technically witchcraft. But it's basically helping that transition of both the mother and the child transition into this new world. So birth, which is a whole other podcast we could talk about, is a huge magical experience where like it's and Binx, I totally am so excited to go on this journey with you because the first child, you literally transition from maiden to mother, and it is a huge transition, both spiritually, physically, everything, for not only for the mother but also the firstborn. So it's a huge like spiritual and magical thing, and there's a ton of moving parts and everything. So a doula helps guide both spirits, both the mother spirit and the child spirit, into this new world of them coexisting, the ties between both of them, and all that fun stuff. A death doula is someone who helps prepare that person to pass over from the living into the afterlife, and also help their family accept passage of that spirit into the afterlife. So
That's so cool.
It's a really
I could
cool
totally
process.
do that. All right, I'm
Yeah.
going to advertise myself now as a death doula. That sounds like
Yes.
amazing. I would totally do that.
So it's a big thing. You can actually get a certificate for it now. The only reason I have not pursued it is because you pretty much have to be available at all times. So people die literally every second of the day.
Every hour of the day. Yep.
Every hour, every second. So you have to be prepared to, like, if it's 3:00 in the morning, the family calls you and it's like, hey, they're close. You have to get up and go drive over there and help that person pass. Which, like, I've totally been into, but because of that, because of like the time restraint or whatever, like you have to be available at all times, anytime. You have to drop everything and go. I don't have that availability in my day, so that's the only reason I have not pursued it. But I've been told that I have a lot of deities that hang around me, wanting me to do this and wanting me to help people, and I am actually. It sounds terrible, but like I can usually tell when people are about to die. So it's just kind of like a feeling. Like I can,
me too.
I can, like I had a somewhat family member, super close. They were talking about going out to visit because he was really sick, and I was like, you need to go now or you're not going to be able to say goodbye. And they didn't listen to me, and they didn't get to say goodbye. So it's just like this feeling I have, like it's like I have this really strong connection with death, and death has never scared me. I have never been upset about death. I have never been
Me neither.
scared of it. It's never been something like, and I always felt broken because of it, because it's like everyone is always so absolutely devastated when someone dies, and I'm just like,
but this is normal. Like, this is just another part of life. We all gotta die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
that's the only thing that you have to do in life is die. I mean, you can avoid everything else in the world. You don't have to pay taxes, nothing, but you're going to have to die. They just don't have a choice.
We all gotta die. We all gotta die.
That's it.
And I think that's actually the greatest part of living.
Yeah. Is that we're all going to go one day.
Yeah.
It's finite.
It's the
most finite thing in the world.
Oh, and I can't wait to haunt people. Oh my god. It's like my dream.
Yeah.
Haunt people so bad.
Yeah. But yeah, so we can totally get into like death and everything because it's a super fun topic for us. And I apologize if anyone is.
Yeah, but we're supposed to be on tools, so we've kind of gotten a little off topic a little bit. But
exactly.
Unless you want to look at it as a tool.
So what do you guys think is something that people might have in their toolkit that is I guess not needed? Like, what is that one witchy thing that people attribute to witches but isn't really witchy? What would you guys think that would be?
Honestly, for me, an athame, if I'm saying that right.
Oh, the little
athame
knife.
The knife.
Yeah.
Literally any knife will work. It doesn't have to be specifically an athame. And literally your fingernail will work.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't say that.
Well, I can't stab people with my fingernail, Bethany. I have to stab them.
That's the thing. Like
a knife.
In some practices, it would be like mandatory, but unless you're doing like straight up blood magic, which it's not a commonly practiced craft anymore, not that I know of. I know people still do it, but it's not as popular as it once was. That back when doing sacrifices every Sunday was super normal. But yeah, I mean, for some crafts, it could be. I always say the thing that you don't need is the thing you have like 12 of. Because I know for me, like I have about 6 of the same thing on my altar in every which way, every meaning of the word for almost every tool that I have. And it's just because I like, as much as I'm a collector, I'm a little bit of a hoarder.
Yeah.
I have more than 12 crystals and rocks.
Yeah.
We're probably in the thousands at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops. Well,
But like with the athame, like it doesn't have to be specific to the athame. Like the knife I use if I need a knife in my spell work was a pocket knife that used to belong to my grandpa. And my grandpa is now one of my spirit guides. So
what makes sense?
so I
to you
use his
then?
knife.
A blessed tool.
Yeah.
It's a blessed
But
tool.
it's not
That makes sense.
it's a pocket knife. It's not an athame. So like that's why I say like you don't have to buy the specific item
Well, I
that
think that
is
goes.
aesthetic.
I think I
So-
think that goes back into, is it actually witchcraft or is that fucking capitalism? Because that's definitely capitalism. Because to me,
Buy this pretty thing. Ooh, it's got jewels
an
on it.
atom
It
is
makes
gonna
it more
be
magical.
anything that's sharp,
Ooh.
anything that can do the job of a
Anything
knife,
that's sharp.
boom, you've got an atom. It doesn't have
toothpick.
to be specifically made to be that thing. As long as it fucking
Yeah.
works to do the job, boom, you've got the tool. I mean, it's the same
could
analogy as
literally-
like the wand and doing the tree stick earlier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
where you could
Yeah,
beat
you
them
don't
there.
have to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the tools that nobody warns you about. There are some kind of scary tools that I think we should cover real fast. I know we're getting short on time here. But kind of the like scary tools that people don't necessarily think about, or that people might be scared to actually use, or that are kind of delicate to collect. So let's start with bones, right? So like I'm big with bones. Vic, you're probably bigger with bones. Bones, you actually have like some wet specimens, some really cool wet specimens. You have some really cool bones and everything like that.
And
like
I'm big bones.
too.
But
But yeah, like
I have my own bones.
exactly. And bones are actually very important in witchcraft because each bone represents a different thing. So like obviously you can go, if you're doing a skull, then you have knowledge, you have knowledge. I don't know what else the head represents. But or if you have a rabbit versus a fox, like a rabbit skull is going to present fertility and quickness and stuff and quick thinking. A fox is going to be cunning and more predatory. So you can totally take on whatever aspect of the actual animal it comes from, or you can take the aspect of what that specific bone comes from. So like a baculus is a penis bone. So if you're going to do a fertility spell, maybe you should collect a rabbit baculus, if I'm saying it right. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but everything other than human mammals has a bone in their penis. So
what's wrong with
use
these
a
humans?
penis bone. I know.
Fucking weirdos, man.
Weird.
Yeah.
Some aliens that
Um
made us that way.
yeah, but penises are weird, guys. Same with vaginas, honestly. But like
Yeah.
penises are
The
weird.
biggest-
And there's different ones.
I think the
All different flavors.
The thing to be aware of when it comes to the bones is you want to, of course, make sure you're sourcing ethically. Anything at all, absolutely anything at all, especially dealing with death. If you are going to grab that and use that in your craft, you better make sure it's ethically sourced. Otherwise, guess what? You're calling that spirit and everything that spirit represents back onto yourself. If you're using it maliciously, if you are collecting it in a malicious way or in a disrespectful way, these things find you. You're not secret. That's the beautiful thing about energy, right? They don't need to track down your IP address. They don't need your home address to get to you. They can just find you because that's how the fucking universe works. That's how energy works. You are just like the stars in the sky. You're just as bright. You are not hiding from the universe.
Nope. So yeah, so all right, so other tools that you can use, protection is huge. Also, I would also suggest that I probably should have started with this. If you are brand new to witchcraft and you're just trying to get into it, I recommend to try and figure out protections and cleansings. Start there. before you do anything else. Don't do a money spell. Don't do a love spell. We need like
Definitely don't
3
do a love
freaking
spell.
Episodes of love spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole, oh my gosh, that's a whole thing. But yeah, don't start with money spells. Don't start with love spell. Don't even try to do a love spell unless it's a self-love spell. Just start with protection. Just start with cleansing and protection. And we can do this in many, many, many different ways. You can do this by burning incense, by burning herbs, by burning candles, by doing actual like sage bundles and stuff like that. However, caveat, if you are not Native American, you cannot smudge. Sorry.
No,
I'm going to say it
hold on.
right now.
Pause. Not. You can smudge. You can smudge. You cannot smudge with white sage. White sage is a protected, sacred plant specific to Native Americans. Smudging in general is done throughout many, many, many practices, regardless of it just being Native American. It is specifically white sage. It is a sacred plant. It is protected, and it's endangered because of the capitalism of America. Well, not America, the capitalism of the world, and the what is it? The also, for lack of a better word, attack of indigenous culture.
Yeah. So I mostly agree with you. I'm going to challenge just a tiny bit because I call it smoke cleansing. You can smoke cleanse, but you can't smudge. Smudge is a whole ass fucking ceremony with like specific prayers that you're supposed to do. Smudging is like a whole thing. Like it's not just the act of burning an herb, whether it be white sage or something else. Smudging itself is the sacred ceremony of that. So that's why I'm challenging you on specific word choice. But smoke cleansing is something that literally every other culture has done throughout history. So whether that be any other type of sage, because I'm with you on white sage, but if you do any other type of sage, if you do blue sage, garden sage, like there's hundreds of different types of sages, and that's what's so frustrating is like literally, guys, there's hundreds of type of sage.
Right. It
Leave
doesn't
white
need,
sage to our
it
native
doesn't need
friends.
to be.
Like, it does not have to be white sage.
Come on, man.
Yeah, like blue sage is actually huge in Hebrew and some Jewish communities is blue sage. But smoke cleansing is for everyone. Smudging is specific to native cultures. That's my understanding. But I'm with you on the white sage for sure. Unless you grow it yourself, I feel like that's okay. If you grow a whole ass bush yourself and you care for that plant, and you
because at that point, it would be
plant.
ethically sourced. You know,
Exactly.
You wouldn't be stealing it from another place or another land. It's ethically sourced from your home. You're taking care of it yourself.
Yes. So that's the only caveat. If you actually grow it yourself and everything like that, or if you purchase it directly from a native culture, then you can use white sage. But otherwise, it's just smoke cleansing or lighting it. Okay, so back to protection and stuff like that. You can light a candle. You can do all this stuff. But if you're like one of those people who's like, I can't light a candle. Maybe my pets are sensitive to it, because some pets are very sensitive to smoke and stuff like that. Maybe you live with people who don't know you're practicing witchcraft, so you can't just light up a bundle of herbs and call it good and walk around the house. And
I don't know. I used to smoke weed all the
your
time,
area.
and nobody ever knew. I'm just saying. Like,
I bet they did.
I mean,
know.
they probably knew. I mean, let's be real. Let's be honest. But I was definitely lighting all kinds of herbs.
Yeah.
You know.
But like what? But like what can you do if you can't actually burn anything, right? Bells. Bells are huge. I've never actually used them because I've never been in the position where I can't burn something, and I am a Leo. I'm a fire sign, so I'm burning shit. Like, I love fire. It brings me to life. So I'm burning stuff. I am pyro to the max. But bells are a great one. And brooms. Actual like ceremonial brooms. You can use just your regular old broom. That's totally fine. If you bought it from some grocery store or anything like that, use your broom. I got a floor cleansing mix of pine, not pine sol, but it actually uses pine essence, and I use that to cleanse my house. Like every time I mop my floors, I'm actually cleansing my house because I'm using actual pine, like actual like what like not essential oil, but
Like from a
whatever.
pine tree, pine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pine oil.
pine oil. Okay, got it.
Because pine is very cleansing. So you guys can cleanse that way too. Like you again, be creative. Do what feels right. If you feel that your lemon pine saw is cleansing your house, guess what? It's actually cleansing your house of negative energy.
You can also use spoken word and intention. Like I do
Spoken
that
word,
all
yeah.
the time. Open a door and tell the spirits to get the fuck out of my house if they're not going to pay rent. That seems to work for
Yep.
me as well. It's all about casting your intention out.
All right, cool.
All right. So last thing, let's cover dirt. Tons of different types of dirt. Different spells call for different dirt. And that's fantastic because it's literally earth. So let's cover real fast before we end cemetery versus graveyard dirt, because this one is huge. Y'all cannot just go bust into some graveyard and steal dirt off of a grave and call it good. You're going to get in so much spiritual trouble. It is not okay. So we want to be very careful with graveyard versus cemetery dirt. So graveyard dirt is dirt from maybe like a family plot, something somewhere like if you have or like a small plot kind of out in the middle of nowhere or something like that. Cemetery dirt is a grave area that is attached to a church of some kind or some type of spiritual place. So it could be a synagogue, it could be a mosque, it could be something like that. That would be cemetery dirt. Graveyard dirt is literally anything that's not attached to a church specifically. And different spells call for different types of dirt. Now, if you guys are taking dirt off of a grave, whether that be a cemetery or graveyard dirt, y'all better have permission from the spirit itself. This is very, very particular because that earth is charged with the energy of the person who is laid to rest there. And also, I'm going to let Vic take over because I know in Louisiana, this is a huge issue.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean, and it's not even
robbing.
It's grave robbing in general. Like grave robbing in general is a problem, has been a problem in New Orleans, specifically in Louisiana, all over Louisiana, but New Orleans specifically, we had a huge problem with it after Katrina. And it's not only is it disrespectful to the spirit, to the person who passed away, to the family who still carries the grief of that person passing away, it's disrespectful to your own damn ancestors, to your own damn spirit guides, because all you're doing is showing them that's how you would treat them if you knew where their body lay, you know? So it's a big deal. You don't ever want to, the very first thing you should do if you're going to take dirt from a grave is you better make sure you can talk to spirit. You better make sure you can ask that spirit, like Bethany was saying, you better make sure you can ask that spirit if you can have some of this dirt, if you can take it. And I would even recommend to go as far as tell the spirit what you're going to be using the dirt for, so that they can truly give consent. Because you can say, hey, can I have some of this dirt, and not tell them, and it be, oh, I'm going to end the world with this. You know, they probably wouldn't have consent. Yeah, right. That's for Dana.
Yeah,
but they probably wouldn't consent to something like that. They love this world. They are still on this world in a physical sense. Their spirit's still here. So you should always be making sure, it goes back to ethically sourcing it. Make sure you're talking to that spirit. Make sure, like Bethany said, the best way for you to do it is to just it be someone you knew already. You already have an existing connection with, so you don't have to work that hard to reignite that connection. You can very easily go into your mind and visit them and say, hey, look, I need to do this spell. It requires this graveyard dirt. Is it okay if I take some from your plot? And whether they agree or not, that's on them. But you better not take that dirt if they say no.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to visit my family plot, and I was able to get graveyard dirt from my great-great-grandma that I told you was the last known witch. And that was a really special time for me that I got to go see her spot, and I got to go do that, and she allowed me to take some dirt, and that was great, and I still have it. I haven't used it for anything, because I don't know what I'm going to use
Keep
it
it
for.
safe.
I haven't had a need, but I felt it was really important that me take it. And then on the way out, she actually gifted me a fox skull that was not there on the way in. Like, I swear, like, we took the same path in and the same path out. This is deep in the Appalachian Mountains where we had to hike like all the way up the face of a mountain and get to this family plot that's been there for however many years. And on the way out, like, there was like a fox like skeleton essentially, and I was able to take the skull and stuff too, and it was really, really cool. And I'm really glad that I had that. But again, like, if you don't have the luxury of having a family plot, if you don't have that, then you're welcome to still go out there and find a graveyard, find a cemetery. But just make sure you have explicit permission from whatever grave you're taking from, or you're going to be in a lot of trouble spiritually. They will come find you.
I'm just going to avoid the dirts.
Yeah. But yeah,
the
dirts are
dirts.
important. Like, there's crossroad dirt, there's river dirt, lake dirt. There's like tons of
Joe
different types
Dirt.
of dirt. All
He's
the
cool.
dirts.
Joe
Joe
Dirt's the
Dirt.
best.
Joe Dirt.
It's my favorite dirt to use.
Yeah, I love Joe Dirt. But yeah, so like ton of different dirts. So but again, whatever you use, even if you are collecting, if you just go outside and rip a twig off a tree and want to use that as a wand, you better ask that tree for permission too. If you want to make a broom, and you better ask whatever plant you're collecting, be like, hey, I want to make a broom, and you're gonna get a feeling. Like, it's gonna be obvious. Like, either like you'll get nothing and that's an answer yes, or you're gonna be like, like, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna be like, probably not. I probably can't take this.
Maybe not
So-
this haunted tree.
Yeah, like you'll
Yeah.
be able to feel it of a yes or no if you get it. Like, obviously, like, the corpse isn't gonna bust out of the ground and be like, sure.
Dude, that would be the coolest
You know?
thing
That'd be
ever,
the
though.
best
I
way
would
to
be
do
so
it.
pumped. Oh my
Talk
god.
about some explicit consent.
I would be so excited.
Yeah.
I would just ask so many questions. Oh my god.
So yeah, join us next week for more witches, brews, and banter for the resurgence of witchcraft. Why is it happening? And more fun things and conversation.
Don't forget to hit all of the buttons, like and subscribe, and we sure hope to see you on the next Witches, Brews, and Banters.
Yes, I will be drinking on the
witchy.
next Witches, Brews, and Banters. Yes. Banter.
Stay witchy, everyone. Have a great night or day or afternoon
Or
whatever it
whatever.
is for you.
Or afterlife.
3 a.m.
Or afterlife.
Have a great
We
afterlife.
don't know where they are on their
It's
journey.
gonna be fantastic. Yes.